My name is Mark Fisher. I am the author of How to Write About Theatre. In this podcast, I'd like to talk about the question of the liveness of theatre, live performance, and therefore the reviewer's responsibility to respond to the live moment. Now, one of the reasons I've been thinking about this is because the comedy critic Bruce Dessau wrote a blog quite recently in which he admitted that he hadn't been to see a particular show because he hadn't been to the first night, and then he had read reviews of the performance and thought, well, actually, these reviews are pretty mediocre. I have nothing more to add. I'm unlikely to have anything more to add. And he was wondering, perfectly legitimately, whether he was guilty of a dereliction of duty or whether he was quite right in not just adding to the noise of the number of reviews that had already made the same point. And there is a question, though, about whether the individual reviewer could bring something new to the show, and also whether the world itself might have changed, because in between the press night and the night that any given critic might go and see a show, things might have changed in the world, and therefore their responses might change. They might have a different reflection to put on it. That thought very much has come to mind this weekend, because all over the news, not just in one country but internationally, is a theatre performance, the performance of Hamilton, at which Mike Pence, the vice president in waiting for the United States of America, went to see the performance of Hamilton. And by all reports, the audience roundly booed him, a few cheers, but generally boos from what I can tell. And then right at the very end of the performance, the actors came on stage, took their bow, and one of them gave a very powerful speech about representation and so on. And it occurs to me that if you were a theatre critic in that audience that night, I would suggest that it would be a dereliction of duty if you didn't refer to the fact that Mike Pence was in the audience was booing, and this speech took place at the end. That seems to me to be the thing that was most exciting and most interesting. As a reader, that's what I would want to know, and what that show actually meant in those circumstances, not least because Hamilton is about one of the founding fathers of America, United States of America, and there was a leader in waiting in the same room, so there was a definite connection between the two events. And it seems to me that because of the liveness of theatre, that show on that particular night must have meant something different to what it meant the night before and what it meant the night after, even though in technical terms it was the same piece of theatre, the same length, the same songs, the same speeches, all the rest of it, everything was technically the same, but the audience, including Mike Pence, had brought in the world of Donald Trump, the world of the United States in November 2016 on that particular day, on that particular night. And it seems to me that one of the exciting things about writing about theatre is its liveness, and as far as I'm concerned, to deny that liveness is to deny a huge amount of what makes theatre special. It's different to writing a product review of a computer or a refrigerator or a motor car, where the presidency of the United States has no bearing on how a fridge works or on how a computer works. It's the same piece of equipment, and so a reviewer writing a product review can very precisely articulate what it is that's good and bad about the product. Theatre isn't like that. On the whole, it's about a personal reaction, it's about a human reaction, and it's about a global reaction about what this thing meant on this particular night at this particular time.